Okay, welcome to this real quick tutorial on some camera techniques. I'm going to show you how to do manual focus with these cameras, what depth of field means, how to do white balance, and I'll show you a couple other tips along the way. So first thing, I've got my camera, I've got one of the purple ones, and I want to wipe all the information off before I begin. So I put it into play mode, and then I come over here and hit the function key, and this little thing will flop up underneath. You can slide that over to the right, and then I want to select the one that says initialize. Delete all movies will work too, but initialize is better because it completely wipes the card, gives you a fresh start. So you should always do that before you begin. Okay, now it's going to be done. So now I'm going to switch it back to camera mode. Alright, let's start with the manual focus. Well, first thing you notice is that that P went away. So what I have here is I've got a tape. You can see this set up. I've got a tape set up very close to the camera lens, and then a little bit farther off I have that can. And so I want to do this to get the lens to focus in on that 120. Do it manually. So to do the manual focus, you press this little guy down here, the little joystick. This thing pops up. Next, exposure, no. Focus, yes. If you press it up, see that little MF came up, manual focus. Press it up again, back to auto. So press it up, turn to manual focus, and then you can go left or right to bring it out of focus. See how it's getting blurry, the 120? Bring it to the right, and now it's focused, and now it's going back the other way. So by showing that on the film, you can see it's going in and out of focus. The depth of field is showing the same thing. The depth of field, you can show that when you have like an object that's close to the camera that's focused, like that 120 is. But then in the distance, turn this off. In the distance, the can is blurry. Get a little bit better. So that shows the depth of field. Now you can turn that focus back to manual. And now how to do the white balance. Turn my display back on. The white balance, instead of pressing the joystick, you press the function key. And then this menu pops up. And program AE, automatic exposure, just leave on P. Here it is, the white balance. So it's auto white balance, which is normally used. Or if you're outside, use the daylight, and everything kind of turns yellowy. So you record a little bit of that, and then you'd switch it to tungsten. And when you're inside, that's usually we're using tungsten lights. It looks a lot better. And then that last one, I'm not really sure what that is. Maybe do it yourself. So tungsten daylight. So what you want to do is record some inside, and then you take the camera out and you do the exact same thing. Now another tip, we're over here in this menu. If you go down all the way to this one and press it in, you also have the zoom speed. The zoom speed, click into that. That definitely could come in handy. You could slow the zoom speed down when you're doing that Zolly shot, when you're trying to zoom in at the same time that you're moving. You might want to slow the speed of the zoom, so you can play with that a little bit if you want. And then mostly the rest of these widescreen, we always leave it on. The rest of these things I think are pretty standard. So press that button again to eject it. So I think that is it for this quick tutorial. Got the white balance, we got the depth of field, we got the manual focus.